COVID-19, it is still going on. It is still wreaking havoc on travel, especially international travel. And we've got the Omicron variant raging on both sides of the Atlantic now, which is just continuing to cause a mess. So for me, I'm just kind of staying put here in Toroni for a little while longer, just so that I can wait and see if this Omicron wave will die down. And then I'll make my next move, because I am looking forward to traveling to some more places that I'm going to share with you guys who are watching me here on Global Niko. But I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about COVID-19 vaccines, because everyone's talking about it, and I was in a weird situation where I had to get my booster shot in a different country than I got my primary shots. And now, before I go on with this, I realized that the COVID-19 vaccine is a very controversial topic that elicits a lot of strong opinions, and you're welcome to share those opinions in the comments below, but keep it respectful. Don't start posting misinformation and, a bunch of crap like that, because, I'll have to shut the comment section down if it gets all crazy with that kind of stuff. But if you're like me and you have also had to get a booster shot for the COVID vaccine in a different country than you got your primary shots in, I would be very interested in hearing what your experience was, and see if it's comparable to how I had to go about it. And also, one more disclaimer, I am not a medical expert. I am not here to tell you to get the vaccine or to not get the vaccine or whatever. You need to consult the medical experts who know best about that, so that you can make your own decision on whether or not to get the vaccine. I chose to get it for my own reasons, in part because I travel, so you need to make that choice for yourself. I'm not here to make that choice for you. I'm just sharing my own experience. So when the COVID vaccines first came out at the beginning of 2021, I was in upstate New York, which is, of course, where those of you who have seen my first couple of videos on this channel, they were in upstate New York, because that's where I was based at the time. So I got my primary doses, my first 2 doses of the Pfizer vaccine, at a drive-in vaccine clinic in Plattsburgh, New York. The people who were running it did a fantastic job. It was a very quick and easy and convenient setup that they had there. The doctors, nurses, National Guard, state troopers, everybody who was involved in getting thousands of people vaccinated through that facility without even having to leave their cars. It was a really nice and easy situation. So this was back in March of 2021. I was fortunate that I did not have any side effects from the vaccine, other than just a sore arm for 2 days. Even after the second dose, I didn't have anything but just a little bit of arm soreness. I know a lot of people who got the Pfizer, and especially a lot of people that got the Moderna vaccine, had some side effects after the second dose for a day or two. I was one of the lucky people that didn't, even though I was expecting to after the second dose, based on what people were telling me at the time. So after getting my vaccine doses, I started traveling further and wider for the channel, as those of you who have followed since then have noticed. Started flying again, and then I also traveled back to Greece. It's a country that I've been coming to my whole life. I have dual citizenship here. I've lived here at one point before. So, and then I refrained from coming here in 2020 because I was refraining from traveling, of course, by plane during 2020. And so I came back in the middle of 2021, have been here ever since. Obviously, I'm still here now. And it was reaching the point where by the fall of 2021, the Delta COVID wave was hitting Greece worse than any other wave had been hitting Greece up until that point. And the vaccinations were also kind of hitting that vaccine wall where, everybody who wanted to get vaccinated got vaccinated, and there was just the people who were refusing. And so some of the measures that the Greek government started enacting at the time were also meant to pressure people into getting vaccinated. Also, by November of 2021, the government here in Greece had opened up booster vaccinations to adults who had gone past 6 months since their primary shots. And they also started enacting this vaccine passport system that I know several other countries in Europe have done similar things. But what that meant here in Greece was that anywhere you went, any public place that you went to, other than a supermarket or a pharmacy, you had to show proof that you're vaccinated, or show proof of a negative rapid COVID test done within the previous 48 hours, or the proof that you were recently infected, if you were recently infected. So for me, of course, I was vaccinated, but I was vaccinated in another country. So the complication that posed for me was that my vaccine QR code, which I was fortunate that since I got vaccinated in New York, that was like one of the few states that also provided, other than the little CDC card that all Americans get, they also in New York had this little Excelsior pass, which is this QR code on your phone, but it didn't work here in Greece. It worked earlier in the year whenever I needed to get on a plane or a ferry or a train, but by this past November, when restaurants and cafes and every place except for pharmacies and supermarkets had to ask you for that QR code for your vaccine, mine from New York didn't work. So you can imagine, as someone who travels for a living now, whenever I am out on my travels and have to go eat somewhere or have to do anything almost, I have to show a vaccine pass that doesn't work. So of course, most of the time, I'd say about 80% of the time, it was not a problem, because most of the people that are asking for it just do it because they have to and they know they'll get in trouble if they don't. So I would just show it to them and explain to them that, look, it's not gonna work, or sorry, it doesn't work, but because it's from outside the country, but it's real and I have other ways to show you that it's real. You know, most of the time they'll just be like, okay, that's fine, you showed us something, so if the police come and check, just tell them what you told us. Other times they'll be like, all right, let me see your CDC card too. And you know, maybe about a quarter of those times it would go even further, and you know, I'd offer my US passport to show that yes, I am an American citizen, this is my name, it matches this, and you know, I'm not lying to you, I'm not showing you a you know, like a fake vaccine pass or anything like that. There was one single time where I was still denied entry, and it was to a bank, and it wasn't even for me. I was going to the bank with my grandfather for something, and so I just decided not to, it wasn't worth fighting for it, and I just waited outside. But you know, so those are the difficulties that for about a month and a half, where despite being vaccinated, having a foreign vaccine proof meant that you know, it was a weird, complicated situation. So you might wonder, well, okay, booster shot, what about the booster shot? Well, yes, getting a booster shot here in Greece means that then I would have the same vaccine passport that everybody else who gets their shots here in Greece would have. I am a citizen here, and I have an AMCA number, which is basically like a social security number. For those of you watching in the US, you know, want to make a comparison, you use your AMCA number to go in to the government vaccine website to see your vaccination status, your information, to book an appointment for a vaccine dose. By November, I was already 8 months past my second dose of the vaccine, and I had decided, for a lot of reasons, that I should get my booster, but I wasn't able to, because when I went into the vaccine system, it still counted me as an unvaccinated person, because the system here in Greece had no way to incorporate my vaccine doses that I did in the US back in March into their system here so that I can book a third dose. So waiting for a month and a half, by the time we got close to Christmas, about a week before Christmas, they finally updated the system, and I was finally able to go in and make an appointment for a third dose. But by the time that happened, there were no appointments available for third doses for at least a month, because there's been a big rush now for the last few weeks in Greece for vaccines, between all the people that are coming up on their 6 months and want to get their next dose because of the Omicron wave and because they want to keep up with their vaccinations. And then you have more people who are just begrudgingly getting it now because the measures that the government has enacted are kind of indirectly forcing them to do so. What happens then? Well, a few days after they had updated the system, I had found out from my local KEP office here, which the KEP offices, which is like a citizens service office here in Greece, they're all over the place here in Greece, and they're usually run by really amazing people, including the one out here in southern Chalkidiki, this very remote area that I've been based at lately, which is where my home area here in Greece is. They were amazing enough to mention to me, without me even inquiring, that there would be a mobile vaccine clinic that would be coming to the area in a few days, and we could go there and get our vaccine doses. So we were able to do that right before Christmas and able to enjoy Christmas without having to worry about that. Not only not having to worry about when we're going to get our vaccine, but you know, even some might say more importantly, not having to worry about having trouble proving our vaccination status whenever we go to do literally just about anything other than going to the frickin' supermarket or pharmacy. So that's been my experience in getting a COVID-19 booster shot in a different country than where I got my primary shots. If any of you watching this have also had to navigate COVID booster shots in different countries and primary shots, I'd be interested in hearing what your experience is. Feel free to leave a comment below letting me know what your experience has been. I know that mine probably was relatively easy because of the fact that I do have dual citizenship here, and so even though I got my booster in a different country, it's still a country that I'm a citizen of, so I know that that probably made it a lot easier than if I were just here as a foreign national, or if I was here on a work visa, or or whatever. So let me know if you have had any similar experiences, or let me know if you guys have had to get COVID booster shots in different countries. I'd be interested in finding out. Sun's going down now as I continue walking along the beach here in Tironi. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because I'm very excited to show more places that I'm about to travel to with you guys, and some places not in Greece. There are some travel plans in the works that are also to places besides Greece. So I am looking forward to getting those into motion so I can share them with you guys. So definitely stay tuned and stay along for the ride so you can see where I'm gonna go next. Take care and travel better.